Hi guys, in this video, I'm gonna show you a gameplay of Claude.
Dexter, it's our show.
The enemy is picking.
Claude used to be a really strong marksman who had been dominating for several seasons when played as the hypercarry role. When his jungling ability got nerfed, everyone started to hate Moonton for removing him from the jungling section. However, the hero wasn't nerfed to the ground completely, and in fact, he got buffed from other aspects that allowed him to perform better in the gold lane now. These are my builds and my emblem setup. I personally prefer using the support emblem that gives you gold whenever you hit an enemy hero. This talent actually works pretty well with Claude because he has to constantly hit his enemy with his first skill in order to gain stacks. As for the builds, since he will have to be diving with his ult sometimes, having defensive boots is the safest play in my opinion. Now that Claude can't be the jungler, his mana consumption might be higher, but there's no need to be worried about it, as the support emblem along with endless battle can actually be really useful in your mana regeneration. Also, in case you're wondering why I'm using the vengeance spell, be sure to watch till the end of the video. If you end up enjoying this video, please hit the like and subscribe button, I will really appreciate it. At the start of the game, I will get 2 mana necklace first, then use them to get endless battle later on. There's no need to get demon shoes when using the support emblem. In this one, I'm up against Popo and Koopa, a marksman who's really strong at poking the enemies in the early game. On the contrary, Claude is one of the weakest marksmen in the early game, but once he gets Demon Hunter's sword, Popo is no match against him because Koopa will be melted in an instant. This is also the main reason why I decided to pick Claude. In the early game, I just have to make sure I position well and focus on farming my first pro item. A quick tip, when you see Popo casted his skill 1 on you near your turret, try to bring Koopa to it. By killing Koopa, Popo becomes pretty useless in the early game. He will have to spend a period of time chanting to bring Koopa back. You should use that to your advantage and farm as much as possible. Claude's ult doesn't really hurt heroes in the early game, just use it to clear the minion waves quickly so you can get DHS ASAP. In case you didn't know, the skill deals extra damage to minions. I saw Tigre pinging Gather, so I thought he wanted to kill Popo now. Too bad I got a little too impatient and used my ult at the wrong timing. I was thinking even though I wasn't strong enough in the early game, with the help from the tank, we could still secure the kill. Anyway, since my ult got cancelled, there's nothing much I can do now. After all that struggle, I finally got DHS. Now he's a completely different hero. Also, Koopa isn't that scary anymore when I'm equipped with DHS. Honestly, if Hayabusa visited the gold lane more often, I could have got that item way earlier. Anyway, the most important thing is that I had not died a single time in all the previous fights. Don't immediately use your ult to join any fights. Save it for the best moments. You should just poke your enemies with your first skill before the right timing comes. This is really important, especially when you don't have full HP like this. If I just ult in, I will most likely not survive and give the enemies a free kill. Lancelot just used all of his skills on Odette. Now is the time for me to be aggressive. It's only him and I still have my ult and vengeance spell. Like I've always said in my other videos, trading the life of a core for a mate is really not worth it. But perhaps he was just trying to get a double kill, but he forgot to pay attention to my items and spell. Never underestimate a Claude with DHS. He's probably the only hero in the game that can use the item to its maximum potential. Having Odette and Claude in the same team is a disaster for the enemies. They have to either run or die in a team fight. I've seen a lot of side lane players always doing the same mistake. Many side lane players tend to stay in the middle lane too long after a team fight to try to push all the opponent's middle turrets, to a point which they forgot to pay attention to their own lanes. It is important to return to your own lane after a fight, either to clear the waves or to push the turrets. Now that I'm pretty fat, it is time to rotate to where the team fights are happening and not play too passively. In hindsight, I think I should have stayed there to continue attacking Lancelot with my basic attacks. He's already close to death and I still had my vengeance. There's actually not much to worry about. I'm pointing out my mistakes, so it will probably help you when you have to make similar decisions like this in game. When using a core who doesn't need mana, it's better to just let your teammates take the little in the mid to late game. Three of the enemies are down. Now is the best time to take down the Lord. It seems like Hayabusa got too greedy. Maybe he's also a content creator trying to find some epic highlights. Regardless, there's no reason why I shouldn't solo the Lord right now. I'm capable of doing it, and my teammates are doing a good job at zoning the other enemies.
It was at this moment that he knew. He f***ed up.
Oops, I did a really silly combo here. That was a really unforgivable huge mistake. After that rookie mistake, I thought I need to redeem myself with an epic play. Oops, I teleported too early again. This is the second time I did this for the gameplay. I probably thought Paquito was from the enemy team. Anyway, I guess you saw how useful Vengeance was. I did not take much damage from Chang'e's ult, and I even killed her faster because of the spell. In case you didn't know, in the recent updates, the developers buffed two underrated spells, which is Vengeance and Inspire. At first, I tried Inspire Claude as the damage of his ultimate scales with his attack speed, so I thought maybe Claude with Inspire will deal an insane amount of damage. After experimenting with several games, I still think Claude needs a spell that increases his survivability, such as Aegis and Vengeance. This is because when using the ult, Claude is vulnerable like Odette, but the latter has a high amount of free shield from the ultimate, while the former doesn't. You need to position almost in the middle of clashes when casting your ult, but as a marksman, you are really squishy to do that. This is why the battle spell Vengeance is really useful, especially after they buff his damage reflection. That's all for this video. I hope you enjoyed watching. If you did, consider leaving a like and clicking the subscribe button. Thanks.